Scooby-Dooby-Doo, we don't need you. We're gonna make a movie without you. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, we'll take your part to be solved by Daphne and Velma. They said we're gonna make a movie without Fred and Jackie and Scooby-Doo. What you do? They said we're gonna make a prequel, not rewrite the lore you swear that you knew. A reboot. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, we don't need you. We're gonna make a movie without you. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, we'll take your part to be solved by Daphne and Velma.
So much like many of you, I grew up with cartoons, and one that basically grew with me my entire life was Scooby Doo. You know, from the original cartoon. To when James Gunn gave us a fever dream back in the early 2000s.
Talk about toasted.
I'm Mary Jane.
Like, that is my favorite name.
Really?
No! Look, I'm a man of substance. Dorky chicks like you turn me on too.
Daphne, you okay?
Yeah. But I'm not Daphne. I can look at myself naked.
Would have gotten away with it too, if not for your meddling son of...
Even Scoob, the 2020 newly animated film, which actually was like kind of good.
In a world destroyed by evil, discover the epic origin story of the greatest team of heroes in the history of mystery. Not bad.
Nailed it!
Well, in between that, a little gem of Jinkies sneaked in 2018, and that is Daphne and Velma. Hi, editor Fernie here. I just want to point out the soundtrack is like really fire. I didn't realize it until like editing this video. Whoever did the soundtrack went off. So kudos. Like listen to this. Hey, please don't copyright this. Look, I'm all for rebooting a sequel. Well, in this case, a prequel. But this movie begs the question, what if we took the idea of Scooby Doo, but we don't use Scooby Doo? So the movie takes place in 2018 in a school for future geniuses, and you could tell because they have hoverboards, drones, and a robot teacher that would put Boston Dynamics and Elon Musk's Tesla drone to shame. So I guess in this world, Daphne is some sort of like paranormal Twitch streamer, and Velma is like her moderator, which is a sentence I never thought I would say.
Or maybe the cause of something extraterrestrial.
All right, more on my feed next week, Paranormals.
I gotta get to school.
This is Daphne Blake signing off.
Look, the actresses did a great job at portraying their versions of Daphne and Velma that felt believable in a modern climate.
Statistically, it's 100% more likely
that a system malfunction caused those rides to turn on.
What should I wear? I'm looking for the perfect first day of school outfit.
Outfit complete.
Just some girl with better clothes.
Cute.
The only problem was I kept getting taken away from their performances when they kept forcing modernization into the script. You know what I mean?
Hashtag job goals. Is that not a thing anymore?
Not really.
So this high-tech school belongs to a man named Tobias Bloom. He basically made the iPhone in this universe and then eventually made the Apple school. And at the school, they have something called the Bloom Bracket, which is basically like a GPA leaderboard for nerds.
This is the Bloom Bracket. It's a real-time ranking of all the underclassmen at Ridge Valley. You're scored on grades, sports, extracurriculars, even social media activities taken into account.
And the top nerd at the end of the month gets an internship with Mr. Bloom.
Whoever's the top student of the Bloom Bracket gets an internship with Bloom Innovative.
Which honestly sounds kind of sus. Maybe that'll come up later. So in IRL, Velma is a socially awkward individual who avoids everybody, including Daphne for the most part. Which honestly, I feel that Velma. Same, no judgment. Live your best life. Until this creepy, spooky event brings them together. So like the lights start to flicker, and then like this weird shadow is like zooming around back and forth around the hallways. And they look down the hallway, and they see one of the top nerds from earlier in the leaderboard that we talked about earlier walk into this like weird locker that has a bunch of smoke coming out. And then like they run up to the locker, and they open the locker, and they see like this weird portal that looks like it's going like to Halloween Town or something. And honestly, like the one thing that's like really grinding my gears, maybe a little too much, is that for a movie with such a modern setting, you know, they have a freaking TV on the wall earlier and flying drones. Do none of them have cell phones? Do none of them have a camera? Like they're two young hip like girls. One of them is a Twitch streamer. Where are their cameras? Like Daphne had a pen with a mic in it. Does her phone not have a camera? Like what's going on? Okay, maybe I'm a little more annoyed than I thought. So apparently all of the students that walk into the locker with the smoke coming out, they come out acting real strange. You know, their words are slurred, their eyes are all loopy, and they look high. Okay, there's no way to go around that. They go into a locker with a bunch of smoke coming out, and they come out acting and looking high. I didn't know Snoop Dogg 101, hosted by teacher Wiz Khalifa, was being offered at Tobias Bloom's school. Very cool, honestly. I might enroll next semester. So once they figure out how to enter this secret locker, they start to get chased by the monster, which led to like a reference to like the iconic chase scene that they would do in the old cartoon. You know the one. But I don't know, it just felt kind of weird without like Fred and like Shaggy and Scooby. Like it just, I don't know, it felt like it was missing something for sure. And then they had like a quick joke towards like Velma losing her glasses, which honestly 100% they could have used it for the plot, but they just used it as like a quick little joke for like 2 seconds. So it's discovered whenever a student sees like a skull and crossbones, they get put into like this like zombie trance. And it's explained as like a really high-tech frequency that only works on children.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, but now you're giving me the silent treatment?
Those audio files must use a frequency that can only be heard by kids.
Velma, that's super advanced tech.
So I wonder who has that type of technology. Yup, it's Tobias Bloom. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Oh, you did? Well, Daphne and Velma didn't.
That kind of thing would never get by Tobias Bloom.
Bloom Innovative.
And there's a property of Bloom Innovative right on that tube thing.
Okay, don't take this away from us.
Sorry.
So they start to like, I guess, invade his building using a Bloom official t-shirt, which just so happens to have a camouflage capability. Why does it have that capability? Who knows? Does my shirt have that? No! So they use it to like hide from like the janitors in the building, which I guess works for like their bodies, but there's like straight up scenes where their faces are like exposed. Are the janitors blind? Do they not see human faces protruding from the floor and from like a bush? So now it's the time you've been waiting for, to meet the mastermind, Tobias Bloom, and to reveal his master evil genius plan. So basically Tobias has the problem of like creator's block. He can't come up with any more ideas. So he came up with an idea to steal and suck the ideas out of people. And not even in the good way. And then after he explained his like evil plan, he threw like a spider bot at them like if it was Avengers Campus. And then it led to like a Velma fight scene, which I did not expect. But guess what? He's a hologram. He wasn't real. I bet you didn't see that coming. They Wizard of Oz our asses. It was like Loki and Sylvie figuring out the TVA weren't real. Turns out it was this chick in like the beginning of the film that like gave this random like sus face like in the background for like 2 seconds. So she basically invented the iPhone when she was about 12 years old, and she felt like no one would take her seriously because she was like a 12-year-old girl super genius. So instead of like just, showing people her tech, she invented like a super realistic hologram of a man named Tobias Bloom, like if it was Smart House or something, you know what I mean? Well, they did it. They stopped her. And hey, she wouldn't have gone away with it too.
If it weren't for you meddling kids.
Man, it just doesn't feel right, doesn't it? Oh, and then they sneak in like a woke little line about social media.
It's literally representative of how technology, in a way, has enslaved our minds.
But it's also indicative of the fact that societal peer pressure forces us to be something we're not.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, and like final thing, I just want to point out, there's like ongoing gags throughout the movie that like were genuinely like kind of funny that I did like. For example, like the janitor who like always kept mopping and had a fascination with just mopping, or like the principal who loved her yogurt time and had a little yogurt dance, or Daphne's dad who just had really bad knees the entire film.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? What does it look like? I'm mopping.
My mop.
I appreciate the gesture, but gift card would have been nice.
Gotta tell you, this isn't how I planned on starting my Tuesday. I planned on having a fancy yogurt. Back in the game. Oh!
That whole creepy elevator thing, and I don't even know how you got out of it.
And then it just ends. Tell me why I waited till the end of the credits, like if it was an MCU film, like expecting Scooby Doo to come out, like in a quick cameo right at the end. But that was it. It wasn't a great movie, but it wasn't the worst either. But what do you guys think? Did you guys see this movie? I had a friend who saw this movie in theaters, so I feel bad for her. I'm sorry about that. I personally didn't love it, but hey, if you loved it, let me know down in the comments. And please consider subscribing, leaving a like, doing all that stuff. Honestly, I feel like people are just shitting on the movie because it's a female-led version of Scooby Doo, which honestly, I don't really care about that. For me, it's just all about like Scooby Doo. Like, I feel like if we switched the positions and made a prequel film about Fred and Shaggy, still without Scooby Doo, that would probably suck a lot worse. Alright guys, thanks for watching, but I gotta go. My friends are gonna pick me up in the mystery machine, and we're gonna go to Taco Bell and solve the case of the Mystery Grande Supreme. But that's just me. Okay, bye!
To be solved by Daphne and Velma.